Welcome back to Late Night Gaming. My name is Rachel, and today we will be continuing Danganronpa. Trigger Happy Havoc. I had to think for a second on what the extra stuff is. So in our last episode, we finished the investigation of Hifumi and Taka's deaths, and I have no idea who it is. I theorized that it was Hiro? I've heard it pronounced two different ways. And my whole idea was that he is this ultimate clairvoyant, psychic, something along those lines. And I just figured, oh, he pretends to be this laid-back, clueless person, but what if he's actually like those scammer psychics you see on TV? And he has said that he's done readings for, people like CEOs or whatnot. So maybe he's very greedy and we just don't know it. And he took the bait for the 10 mil, which Monokuma said would go to anybody who graduated. But of course, curveballs were thrown at us. I don't know who it is. I don't know who. We will see. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. Oh my gosh, look how many people are left. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, just multiplication. Oh, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy.
You're not playing along. Along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay. Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train. Elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please.
Hold on. I'm not Oh shit, what am I saying? Hold on. I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, Hiro. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already. I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first, then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. God damn. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go through this real quick. So the blue tart came from the equipment room, and I think that was what was used to carry... Actually, I don't know. I just know it came from the equipment room. I'm so confused about that. See, this is what really intrigues me. I'm like, what? I'm just gonna go for it. I went through this already. What skills do I have? Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Whatever. Alright, we're good to go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took
Alibi.
place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear. Okay. Whew. Shoo.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
My handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is... It's very
Everything we
nice.
found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Fuck
that
you!
are- Prints, the suit parts,
Get! Yes, thank you. Brick!
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit. The Illuminati? That's right. They're all working behind the scenes to try and set me up. Those dudes are super scary for serious.
Shoot!
What the fuck? Hina? But he just got done.
Shoot!
I'm so confused. What the fuck?
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been.
What?
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Am I missing something? We just said that... Byakuya just said that he thought Hiro was innocent, and then he looked at us and said, who's the suspicious one? What the what was that? I think I'm missing something.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
I thought maybe he had something...
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit.
Oh my god.
But he's not the culprit.
Fucking hate the...
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What?
That drives me
Now
nuts.
that's a bold assumption.
I just wasted hearts. Because...
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to
these
that,
trials drive me nuts.
there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
The tarp. No.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been... I think he said it was the, Wait, where is it? Oh, here it is.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. And the tarp.
I got it!
Oh, I gained back hearts. Okay.
Dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right?
No wonder I look like 3 feet tall when I go to meet everybody in free time. Look how tiny he is compared to Byakuya. What the fuck?
It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
So they don't hurt their back while they're carrying Taka's dead body around.
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
What if it's Hina and Sakura? What if it's them? What if Hina transported Taka's body and Hifumi, or Sakura transported Hifumi's body? Or maybe Hifumi... No, that doesn't make sense.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
The tracks.
There is no shame in being
The
wrong.
bloodstain.
Nobody expects much from you anyway.
What? Fuck you, Celeste.
have
You
all
did
accepted
it.
The fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
That is true. Makoto is very dumb. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Fuck. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Pressing the tab key. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the... You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Fuck. This is like a fantasy novel. You know when you're first starting out reading a fantasy book, and there's like random words that are capitalized to show that they have meaning in this universe? This is what I'm feeling. What the fuck is fever time? I don't remember. Hold on. Never mind. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload it. Man, can I change my difficulty? This shit sucks. I have no idea. Oh.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst.
Oh.
Miserable wretch. You
Oh.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst.
Wait, what?
You miserable wretch. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool.
Oh, we're back here.
Pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
Uh-oh.
I I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Wow, that was a fucking mess. Okay.
You're asking for proof that the dolly moved. I have it right here.
Why did...
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Oh, because it didn't bend at the waist? Make your argument.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Ah.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Boom.
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
It would take forever.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body because you can't take it off yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can take it off of yourself. Blah, blah, blah. We've already seen this.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo-Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing
Yeah,
sounds
I'm
exceptionally
lost.
complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
I only have 1 heart left?
So, regarding Taka's death,
Wait, hold on. Let me see this. The cause of death for each. Are you fucking kidding me? So he was killed at like 6 a.m., right? Alright, let me...
or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Is it... fuck, I only have 1 heart left.
So,
I think it's
regarding Taka's
ordering.
death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Shoot!
Well, what happens now? Oh, shit. No! No, I don't want to know. Oh.
Is this...
Yes.
I refuse to give up yet!
Oh, sweet. So wait, did we start over?
So, regarding
Oh.
Taka's death, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already
So it's
know
not what
Taka came
order.
last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed.
So
with
is
just
it the
about Taka's
numbering?
death.
See?
Okay.
So it's obvious Taka came
I thought maybe it was like we would tell them
I
about
wonder
the
if
time.
perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Wait, what?
Shoot!
So,
Wait, is there another-
I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were.
Okay,
killed
there's
in.
that.
Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of
The
numbering
numbering.
of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that Hifumi, while Taka's death came.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Wait, what? Didn't I hit both options?
So, regarding, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Shoot!
Wait, am I... Hold on, I'm confused. No, it's only one bullet,
Regarding Taka's death, I
right?
wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that Hifumi was killed, while Taka's death came from a swing of justice.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The Justice Hammers were numbered, but...
So, regarding I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after. We already
So it's
know
not-
what order they were
what
Taka
order?
came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Am I missing something? I'm missing something. What the fuck is happening? Wait, what am I supposed to be doing?
Shoot!
Am I supposed to be using a fucking flashback? Hold on, how do I do that? I didn't read. Fuck. Wow, I really wish we could... If you target a weak spot and then hold down the left mouse button, you can use that weak spot as a temporary truth bullet later in the argument. These... Okay.
So,
Oh, fuck you. I didn't
regarding
mean to
Taka's
do
death,
that.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi,
So what is it?
or perhaps it was after.
I'm so confused.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with justice.
The Justice Hammer.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with
Fuck!
Justice Hammer 3.
God, okay, these trials are
Swing of
fucking
justice.
nuts.
So it's
I'm down to one heart already, because I Fuck me. These trials are too much. I cannot handle all of this. My
So,
brain
regarding
is
Taka's, I
not...
wonder if or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer.
I'm literally going to kill myself.
So it's obvious Taka came after.
I am going to be
So,
blackened and be a
regarding
victim
Taka's
at the
death,
same
I wonder
fucking
if perhaps
time!
It was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came
What if this is wrong? I have
The
no
numbering of the
idea.
Justice
No, that's wrong.
Fuck off. That took way too long.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just
I hope
another
the
way
trials
Kyo
in
tried
other
to
games are
disguise their
so much
actions.
easier. They do too much. There's too much going on. Too much. Oh
So
my
you're saying
god.
the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
The watch. I'm gonna die again. Oh. Wristwatch. What? Oh my fucking god!
Is this... I refuse to give up yet.
It's great that we get all our hearts back. That's awesome. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Aren't we supposed to be getting... Am I supposed to go in order? Am I supposed to get an eye first? Wristwatch?
Now I understand.
I feel like the biggest idiot in the world when I play these trials.
See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
I'm not reading that. He reads his pocket watch or wristwatch or whatever.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Hifumi, this is when Hifumi died.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, It is
Yeah, because she has
impossible
a
that any of
specific way
us
she
could
kills her
have killed
victims.
Hifumi
I don't
or
understand why
moved
people
either
are
of their
still trying to
bodies.
blame her. Like, serial killers very rarely deviate from their kill pattern.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
For now,
I could be
can't get
talking out of
fixated
my
on who
ass
did
about
it,
that, but I do
we'll
know
just
they
keep
have,
going
like,
around in circles.
ways to kill their victims.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
They couldn't have been gone for a minute or two. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off him.
Unless he walked out himself because he wasn't all the way dead.
But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Yeah, because he wasn't dead all the way.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another ghost!
God, I wish he was the
I
murderer.
don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Dude! Hina!
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Hina, he woke up on your lap!
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea here that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? What the fuck is happening? Did they forget he woke up on Hina's lap and then died? Wait, what? What does the broken wristwatch have to do with this?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of
Wasn't
us.
there a third announcement when he
Hifumi's
died the
dead
second
body
time?
had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Which would be Taka's. Exactly the same time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure?
Hold on. Let me look at this. What does it say about the wristwatch? I get confused about, like... Kiyotaka's wristwatch broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock. It was confirmed that as of late last night... Okay. I don't know what we're trying to prove here.
Maybe the announcement was intended to
That
signal
one.
someone else's discovery.
I don't fucking know.
Shoot!
I'm not really worried anymore. Or do we get like 3 strikes and we're out? Or
Are
do
you
they
saying that when we
replenish
first
every single
found
time?
Hifumi in there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
I don't fucking know. So it's Sakura's statement.
Shoot!
Are you saying that
When we first found, there's a chance he was actually still alive.
Are we doing the flashback shit again?
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we
Are we trying to
like? Maybe the
is
announcement
her-
was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I don't know. I have no idea what we're doing.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No.
Are we contradicting her statement?
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
I have no fucking...
And you know that how?
I don't know.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body
Bam.
had been...
Hey, look at that. We're down to 2 fucking hearts already. This flashback shit, I'm going gentle.
Body discovery announcement that was made.
Do we still have to use flashback things if we're at gentle mode?
Of course it was. The announcement played right
No,
after
it was
we
for,
discovered his body.
Taka.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which even if we find the
shit,
same
I'm sorry,
body again
Byakuya.
later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. And the second time was when... just after Hifumi came back to life. Oh.
Shoot!
When it was rediscovered, I guess. Okay. I thought it was after
Heard it the
Hifumi
second
died
time in the
a
repository,
second time.
when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
After a certain amount of time, we blah 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 blah.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
So why did he go to the repository then?
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then. Let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
Did he lock the door?
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. The door? Oh, Hifumi's glasses. Oh!
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
I got it!
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
His glasses.
His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office. Yeah.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
The same on the camera.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
Hifumi got up, cleaned his glasses, and then moved to the repository. Or he moved somewhere else and someone moved him to the repository.
What I'm saying
but then
is,
there would be blood.
the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Was it the blood transfusion packs or whatever? Blood packs?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
It's himself. Oh. Hifumi?
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The note.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants. Taka, I guess.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Yeah.
Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, a Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. I don't know which one we're using.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
The time on the note said 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? That's what I need to clear up. So it's
Huffy
broken.
had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Is it that last statement? It's either Huffy or the last
Huffy
one.
had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Huffy!
But remember what time did it say to
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
The little scrap that was left in Taka's hand. Oops. Yeah.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note...
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
No, he wasn't.
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
But he... Wait, hold on. No, he came back to life.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
Wait, am I getting my timeline mixed up? When did he come back to life?
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
The mallet that was clean.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
And they say I'm the clueless one.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
I have an itch on the very center of my Ugh. I hate it when I need a back scratcher. Ow.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
There we go.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. We have the clue! This is what I don't understand. We have all the clues. Don't these people write shit down?
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
Nope.
No, that's wrong. The murder weapon
That one was
wasn't a
easy.
Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
I mean,
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma
They're
Files
missing.
note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
we did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Spotless hammer.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Can we really say there's no chance 2 people work together on this? Okay,
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us...
hold on. I haven't been paying attention, but are truth bullets normally orange and this one is red? So am I trying to find a flashback or whatever?
Even if
Or
more
weak
than
point,
one
or I don't
person is
know.
complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
I don't know.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together.
Shoot!
Okay. So, this is me
Based on
kind
the
of
rules
testing
that have
this
been laid
out.
for us,
Even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is how the...
But that only really applies. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Okay, so I guess if it's red...
Shoot!
Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to...
Even if more than one person is only the one who actually cares, assuming the rule holds true.
That is...
But that only really applies. In this case, however, there were two murders.
I'm going to assume this is going to be used...
Based on the rules that have been,
Even if more than one person is complete.
only the one who actually carried out the act can, assuming the rule holds true.
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
So if it's red, I need to use a flashback.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
So Taka and Hifumi were both trying to get their hands on Alter Ego. Kyoko's the one who made it a rule for Taka and Hifumi to not go into the locker room, or else Alter Ego would scream. So is it possible that Hifumi killed Taka, thinking that... What if Hifumi was Kyoko's accomplice and they were going to go after Taka because Hifumi was mad that Taka wanted Alter Ego as well? Like, there was a bit of a rivalry going on there. And Kyoko ended up killing Hifumi. So that there would be no accomplice, I guess.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning.
But Kyoko
Still,
seems
their
like...
choice of accomplice seems odd.
I don't know. The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same, that was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed the fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Oh, what? I hate it when they do this. I don't know. Is it Kyoko? Or are we pointing... But that wouldn't make sense. Why would she... My brain is literally breaking right now. So, okay. I gotta think for a second. It's almost like when he said the too amazing thing, it makes me think he's questioning Kyoko's involvement in all of this. And she said she wasn't gonna tell us what she was doing. That's probably why. Where she disappeared to, and then when Makoto said, you need a promise to tell me, like, where you were, she said no, because she was probably the one who killed Hifumi. Oh my gosh. Am I thinking correctly in this? I don't know. Me? What are you basing that on? I would very much like to hear your explanation. You have no... So then could you point out the real killer? What? What if it's her? Because they had a weird thing going on. I have no idea.
Here's my answer.
Whoa.
It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Because he had a weird thing for you.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
Yeah, like the tea thing.
Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? Encountering the suspicious individual?
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
Oh, and it gave... Okay, so when Celeste took Hina to the bathroom, it gave Hifumi time to get to the repository.
And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
With Taka. I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Togo, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
So he could get up and walk out.
Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this, enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're all going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Just like those guys died?
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make
She's the
sense.
she's the ultimate gambler, so she likes money too.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Dude, I'd be okay, maybe we have a similar intelligence level because
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense, but what is he alluding to?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
It must be that
And
one.
that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Yeah, okay, yeah. She shouldn't have known about Taka's death yet.
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die.
We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Shoot!
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Oh! Oh, it's another red
That's
bullet.
all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I bet we use this. And then hit those guys.
Really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to.
We are going to die, just like.
No, that's wrong. That's right.
Dude,
There's
what
no
if her
reason
death
Celeste
includes a
said, "Just like
freaking
those
roulette
guys
table or
died."
something?
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka
I have
was
to start
dead.
paying attention to the bullet color. That's what's tripping me up.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away? What?
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the
Oh,
strange
she made
costume
Hifumi
might
carry
only exist to lead us astray
Hiro.
even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Don't be a red bullet. Be an orange bullet.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Okay, so Hina said couldn't bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out!
So what's the...
Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
So wait, what am I supposed to be...
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the
Oops,
bad guy!
I didn't mean that.
Like I said, ridiculous.
As you can see in the picture,
If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
I'm so confused.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous.
as you can see in the picture,
The suspect is that if the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Okay.
Shoot!
There must be...
You dressed me up in that
So,
suit after I passed
I'm
out.
just gonna
Then you draped
shoot.
me across. You tried to make me look like...
Like I said,
as you can see in the picture,
if the person inside the suit, there's no way they could stand up.
So the color doesn't matter? I'm so fucking confused.
No. Even if the
I thought
person
maybe the
inside
bullet
suit were
color-
unconscious, they could still stand up like that.
These fucking trials,
Because
man.
that Robo
I think they're my
Justice suit
least favorite
has
part of this
certain
game,
characteristic.
to be honest. There's so much. I don't know when to use the flashbacks. I don't...
they totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Ooh, have we ever seen that expression on her?
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Yeah, you told him to say that. Hey Hifumi, who was it who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro!
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He said people's last names?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it
Yeah, we don't
could
know
apply
Celeste's last
to,
name.
and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well? Do I? What?
I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Ooh, we're doing that thing again, right? Oh, never mind. Oh, e-handbook. Ooh.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is...
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, that's wrong.
E-handbook, baby. E-handbook. E-handbook.
That's it. The handbook.
Yeah, show us your
What?
handbook.
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna read that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll
Classic
clear up
anime
everything.
shit. Flashbacks all the time.
That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes.
Oh god, I may have to look up a
That'll
guide
bring
for this.
everything to an end.
Okay. I have no
The killer
idea.
is you!
I should have rechecked.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With
Hell
these two
yeah.
incidents, the killers were
We're
able
gonna
to
get this
create
right
a
on the
certain
first try.
preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, That's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them.
I gotta say, she's got some weird looking legs in that picture. Do you see that? Holy shit.
And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
That was weird. This is a weird screen.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Diego?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Wow, we did terrible. I did terrible, not we. I don't know why I always say we. Yeah, we gotta be. I gotta be. Stop it, Rachel. This is all your fault for getting a B. I'm pretty happy that
I'm ready to begin.
I'm pretty happy that I got through that last bit on the first try. The last one was, there were so many little vague panels that I was getting so confused.
Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Wow, I did not expect Celeste, but it makes so much sense. Oh god. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, you know... I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one who stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then... It's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
what?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. Wait, is she insinuating what I think she's insinuating? I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Actually...
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to kill you.
Indeed.
And all so he can keep her to himself.
This is unforgivable! Completely unforgivable!
Honestly.
Can we allow him continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
I have to save her.
Actually...
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it was complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain that part about him playing dead? What she's saying is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay
That's
with this?
simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he'd barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was... While you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the
So he had
end,
planned to kill him all along? But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply do everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder
No,
about that.
he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But...
But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here. Obviously that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little...
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her. You all done? Okay, then let's get rollin'. The black and disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then,
I
prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
God damn, I actually really love her normal voice. Oh, man. Oh my god. No. Wow, it's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die. You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Geez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation. What do you care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh.
Oh,
How
man.
exciting.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time I get out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well, then we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else, head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please, let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then,
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw...
You really came.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe. Thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a little while longer. So, now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure. But, can we talk a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
you...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know. That just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own 2 eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back... She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? She said it was way in the back of the storage closet, but I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in... Gashunk! At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door, and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor, there's a storage closet. And way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? There's a bunch of files and what looked like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry? This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said, like, I can't leave and you must not leave, but you must not leave. What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Yeah. Ow. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull, throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The incessant pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The farther I walked, the more I felt things were getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. That sound. It's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here? In the gym? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then, could it be? The mastermind spy is... God damn. Wow. Leon killed Sayaka. Monokuma killed Junko. Then Leon got executed. Then Mondo killed Chihiro. And then he got executed. Hifumi killed Taka. Then Celeste killed Hifumi. Then she got executed. And that brings us up to now. The next morning in the dining hall, the day after Celeste's case. So now there's only 5 of us here. Only a third of the number of people we started with.
Indeed.
Loneliness has become commonplace. That's true. Still. What did I see yesterday? I don't understand. Sakura is the mastermind spy? Can that really be true? Makoto, are you okay? No, I'm fine. I can't bring it up in front of the others. If I did that, it would just confuse everyone that much more. Okay, in that case, let's eat till we pass out. Huh? What do you mean in that case? Well, cause look how scary everyone looks. It's gotta be because you're all fighting on empty stomachs, right? If you fill your belly, I'm sure you'll all cheer up, so let's eat. Okay. Let's fry up some fish and donuts and eat till we can't stand up. What? That's like a deep impact style, meteor impact, extinction level event combination of foods. Huh? What? Those are both breakfast times top sellers. Still, the till we can't stand up part is a problem. After we're done, we need to go explore.
I see.
That's right. Since the class trial is over, new areas should have opened up.
It's true.
Plus, we still have alter ego. We don't have to give in to despair just yet. She's right. We have to plan ahead and think about the future.
You got it.
Yep. Think happy thoughts, not deathy thoughts.
You know?
Like, when we're gonna get out of here, right?
For serious.
When this is all over, I think I want to get reborn for serious. Reborn as someone serious.
Well...
Hey, are you okay? That sounds like something someone who's about to die would say. I'm totally okay. I'm not gonna die. Why? Because there aren't gonna be any more murders. What makes you so sure?
According to the
I predicted it last night, since it revealed itself to me from the ether. There's no doubt about it.
However...
How accurate is your fortune telling anyway?
How about that?
I can usually hit 20 or 30% on a good day. That seems really low.
It's not like some
Well, yeah, it's not like it's ESP or whatever. Of course I'm only gonna get it right sometimes.
The occult is
I told you my
bullcrap.
fortune telling isn't like some occult thing.
So,
Fortune telling isn't a cult?
You got it all wrong.
Of course not. Clairvoyance is clairvoyance. Don't put it in the same category as cattle mutilation. Cattle what?
So...
He's referring to the urban legend where aliens abduct cows and dissect them as part of their research.
Actually...
No, you're calling it an urban legend? As a matter of fact, it's true. As a matter of fact, it happened to me. It all happened one day when I went to go get a hamburger. It was a place I'd never been before. They claimed their baddies were 100% all beef. So I got a burger to go and headed home.
But...
And before long,
the end is nigh!
the sky was filled with a mysterious blinding light.
Some crazy beam came out of nowhere and locked onto my hamburger. And as soon as the beam touched it, the burger started floating in midair. And then, still floating there, the entire burger started coming apart. One part of it just vanished, while the rest fell back into my hand. Do you realize what that means? It means the burger wasn't 100% beef. It must have had some pork or something mixed in. Something like 70% pork and 30% beef would be my guess. You can't trick me.
So I stormed back into the burger place and got up in the manager's grill, and they totally admitted it. It wasn't 100% beef. They totally mixed in ground pork with it.
How about that?
Now do you see? That is cattle mutilation. I kind of got lost halfway through. I can't tell if you're for the occult or against it. You stink of stupidity.
Don't be mean.
I stink of... How dare you? Well, you do stink, though. That's fine. That's fine? Anyway, I hope your prediction turns out to be true. Well, at the very least, I won't murder anyone.
yeah.
Me either. I mean, I would never.
Of course.
Me either.
Indeed.
Nor I. That goes for me too, of course. I could never kill any of my friends. I felt like those words of encouragement were helping us come together as one. After so much sacrifice and hardship, we'd finally become united. But,
Well,
to be honest, I wish Byakuya and Toku were here for this too.
But...
They're so hard to deal with. They only think about themselves. Yeah, we're better off without them, I say. That was enough to prove we were united for the time being, but within that bond hid weakness and fragility. There are 6 chapters, by the way. I looked it up. We began our search as soon as we'd finished our breakfast in the dining hall. We had to find out what had opened up, what was waiting for us. Well, that is where I'm going to end this episode then. Actually, that trial didn't take as long as others have. Man, the trial's like are so confusing to me. I really struggled with that one. That was ridiculous how many times I had to restart. But at least, you know, if you fail, you get all your hearts back. So that's nice at least. Knowing when to use the flashback shit and knowing what a normal bullet is, that was just like, that was nuts. And I am happy that we got the summary, like the comic book summary part in the first try. Because the last one that we did, I did not do okay. I was getting so frustrated because there was like panels that were so vague. I was like, they could, like a door opening. Where could that fit in? Huh? So it was just that. And I also noticed that they put some of the options for the panels that they put down at the bottom are from other cases. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if it was like that the last time, but I did notice it this time. Now that Celeste is the one that did it, it makes so much sense because they had that weird, like... Because her and Ifumi had that, like, master's servant almost kind of thing going on where she would tell him to go do something and he would do it. I was sort of right. He ended up being a victim, but he was also a murderer. I can't remember what I said for Celeste. Oh, I said she could be a victim because she was trying to assimilate in order to survive in this environment. And I thought maybe it was her just trying to be a little more optimistic so that, you know, the dark thoughts wouldn't get to her or the bleakness of the situation wouldn't get to her. But it turns out it was just all a lie. And her taking the money makes so much sense since she's... Wow, I just slurred my words. Since she is the ultimate gambler. Also, her death, her execution was not what I had in mind. I thought it was going to be connected to gambling. Like her on a roulette wheel or something and they would throw shit at her. But that was not the case. I think out of all of them, she had like the least... brutal death. She got hit by a fucking truck. I have a feeling she went out like that. I think she kind of had the most merciful death. I thought she was gonna be burned alive, but that didn't happen. She got hit by a truck. Unexpected. But yeah, that was nuts. And that'll be it for this episode. I do want to say, if you get to the end of this episode, I will tell you now, I'm thinking about if there's ever free time in the future, I may just edit it out of the video. To me, it doesn't really add anything. It's not like you have a friendship meter, and the more you're friends with someone, the more likely they are to survive or, you know, not betray you or whatever. It's just, I think it's like filler. Or it's supposed to get you connected with the characters, but I think the story does that enough, so I don't know why they have to include free time. Unless there's something to it that I don't know anything about. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I think I'll edit out free time so that videos are shorter and we can get through the story a little bit faster throughout this series. Oh, and Sakura being the spy. I wonder if Hina's friendship has kind of changed her mind about being the spy. That's pretty crazy. So thank you so much for watching. This was Late Night Gaming. If you like this video and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, you can click like and leave a comment. If you've never watched this game before, did you think it was Celeste? Did you call it out? Did you know? Because I didn't. I thought maybe it was Kyoko. I don't know. I thought it was Hiro, and then I thought it was Kyoko, and then it made sense that it was Celeste. So if you called it out, you're smart. You're one of those people that understands games like this. I bet you're one of those people that can read a thriller book and know all the plot twists ahead of time or know who done it. I'm not one of those people. I can't connect dots worth shit. So, yeah. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.